All right, so today we're going to talk about the most important thing you can do to move yourself forward. The most important habit that you can have to move yourself forward, and that is the ability to decide, the ability to make a decision. Now, a lot of you are probably, I'm not going to say you probably are, but you might be the type that kind of sits around and waits for information before you make a decision. You might be waiting for the perfect information to come about. And some of you might just make decisions based off of what everyone says. And then some of you might not make any decisions at all. But whether they're good or bad decisions, regardless of what the result is, you've got to decide upon what you think are positive courses of action. I'm not saying decide upon taking heroin or decide upon, taking your entire savings account and putting it on black in Vegas. What I'm telling you is to decide upon courses for your life. The problem, I think, is that a lot of us don't know what we want out of life. We don't understand really where we want to go yet. And so in a lot of ways, what we do is we put ourselves in a position where we don't control anything, where we're very passive, where we allow the world to take us wherever it wants us to go. But the thing is, that's not living. Living is being on your course, being on your journey, right? Saying, I'm going to own this journey. I'm going to decide where I go. And wherever I end up based off of my decisions, that's awesome, because it was a journey. It was a path I took. I'll learn some lessons from it. But when you allow the world to take you different places, you don't really learn anything from that. You just end up places, right? It's like you're getting blown off course, like a ship without a sail in the ocean, or like a leaf falling from a tree. You just end up wherever the hell the world wants you to end up. Or you don't end up anywhere at all. You just sit on your couch, or you stay in the same place and your life doesn't change, but you know you're miserable and you don't know why. So the beginning of being able to make a decision is getting to know the one person that's going to be the most important person to you in your life. And some of you might say, well, that's my husband, that's my wife, that's my children. No, it's not. It's you. Because unless you are taking care of yourself, unless you are a happy person, unless you are living to the best of your ability, you are not living to the best of your ability for them. Right? Now, that doesn't mean that you have to, take things away from them to make sure that you're living a good life. What it does mean is that you need to be listening to yourself, and when you're not happy, and if you're not happy, you need to do something to fix it. Because there's too many people out there. The biggest plague in our society isn't fucking terrorism. It's not fucking obesity. It's not cancer. It's not heart disease. It's not any of the other billion things that the media says it is. Our biggest problem is that we don't decide upon anything. We've listened to the media. We friggin' listen to popular culture, and we let popular culture decide for us. Or we let other people decide for us. And so the biggest plague is a bunch of fucking unhappy people. The biggest plague is a bunch of people who really aren't doing anything and don't know what they want to do. And so if you ask me what's wrong with this country right now, I would say that the biggest problem is that there is a certain amount of victim mentality going on. The idea that the world happens to us, and the reason why the world happens to us, I hate to break the news to those types of people, is that you're allowing it to happen to you. You're allowing your life to suck. You're allowing your life to go down the shitter. And of course, there's the idea of good government. Yeah, we need good government, but good government encourages its people to fucking pull themselves up by their bootstraps and to fucking figure out their problems. That's what encourages innovation. And when people innovate, they create things. And when people create things, they fucking build. And when they build, they're able to fucking hire employees. We don't sit here and we don't fucking wait for something to happen. right? And a lot of us, especially on certain sides of the political aisle, we look at the other side and we say, well, that side is fucking, they just want to give people everything. They want to distribute the wealth. Well, we're distributing our fucking decision making. And so for us to say that in that aspect and say, well, the government wants to redistribute wealth to people who don't deserve it, well, we're redistributing our fucking decision making ability to people who really don't deserve it. To people who don't deserve to be in charge of our fucking lives. I'm sorry for fucking cursing so much this one. I'm trying not to curse. We need to take charge. We need to gain control of who we are. We need to know who we are first, and then we need to gain control over who we are and set an action course that's congruent with that ideal. And the point is not to try to get rich. The point is not to fucking fill up your bank account and fill your house full of material possessions. The point of this is to be who you want to be, to live the life you want to live. And that can be a business, that can be helping people, that can be being able to pursue the projects you want to pursue. But it starts with knowing and understanding what you want out of this life. And if you don't know that, it just means that you haven't taken a long, hard, honest look in the mirror, and you haven't asked yourself the question, what do I want to do with my life? What would my perfect life look like? And you haven't written it down, and you haven't visualized it. And it's simple as that. Admitting to yourself what you want. Admitting to yourself that all those things that I thought couldn't happen, I'm not letting myself have any of those things, because I'm just sitting here and waiting and thinking that I'm resigned to this fucking existence. And if you think you're resigned to anything, it's not the world's fault. It's not fate's fault. It's not a flip of the fucking coin. It's because you've allowed it to happen. It's better to fucking, and this is cliche, but it's better to fucking die on your feet than fucking live on your knees. Well, let's put that shit into practice. Not by fucking going off on some election, right? And that hopefully will come out okay. But by fucking starting by taking control of our lives. The one thing we can control. Because you can't control what a politician does once he gets in office. You can only vote him out after the policies are already implemented, as we've well discovered. God bless. I love you all. I hope this was helpful. Peace.